Convention.
Bye!
Bye-bye!
Sorry we offended you. I like your cosplay.
Yeah, at the end of the day, regardless of what you do, whether it's good or bad, you are going to be abused horribly. And mostly by people who are just complete arses about it. I mean, I don't mind people who don't like a skit or a performance. That's fair enough. If you don't like it, fair enough. But if you are going to comment about it on a public forum, at least make it constructive. If you're going to say that you didn't like the act, fine.
Keep doing it again.
What?
You're going off the tangent.
No, then this is part of the thing.
Oh, okay.
Weren't you paying attention?
Show me the script like you never did.
Ah, obviously.
Now
it's fine.
But yeah, basically, I mean, there's, if you're going to complain about something, fair enough, but make it constructive so the performers can learn from it. I mean, at the end of the day, we are all amateurs. I mean, if you really hate things that much, either encourage someone you think would be better to put on a performance, or do it yourself. Because, you know, we're just amateurs at this thing, so it achieves nothing by posting on a forum or online saying it was shit.
And by the way, burlesque is here to stay, so get used to it. So
Yeah, we can't improve on anything if all we hear is your shit.
It's not even that, it's when we hear people that we know and like and respect saying, oh, you were good, but everyone else was shit. That's really hard to hear, especially when we've been chatting to all these people in the green room and they're all lovely and they're all really worried. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, and just you, who've done nothing, is just sit there going, fucking shit, aren't they? I'm like, just really wants you make to smash something, you know, just get really cross.
So I mean, if you don't like it, by all means, bitch in private amongst yourself and your friends as much as you like, but if there's some kind of public forum thing where there's feedback, make it useful. Say on there, yeah, I didn't like it because I didn't like it because this and this, you could have improved this, and fair enough. Equally, if you're performing and somebody doesn't like your act, don't have a bitch fit about it, because when you're out on stage, you're putting yourself on show. If you're expecting 100% positive feedback, you're kidding yourself. You've got to have thick skin at the end of the day. If somebody comes back saying they didn't like your act, if you're lucky, they'll give decent feedback. If they don't, if they're just being an arse, just be an adult. Just be an adult about it. Just.
Sorry, I just want to comment. The burlesque video that I put up from Ayacon this year.
You did the last thing, but he's gone. Oh, I missed it!
I filmed it and I had to actually take the comments off of it. Like switch up the comments because folk were just going in and saying like, this is disgusting, this is revolting.
Why the hell did
And
they
it was
bother?
so nasty because the girl that actually did the burlesque act had it linked to our website and everything. And all these people put all these horrible
Wait,
comments.
so which you put the video?
I
Oh,
put the video on YouTube.
You didn't do the burlesque.
Oh,
I was thinking,
no.
I thought I'd heard about that.
Oh, no.
So wait, who was the burlesque guy?
It was key.
It was Kate.
Yeah.
You've got a private show.
Well, you know what? Just turn Kate off. She'll come.
Now we're on a
Quite a
tangent.
few people thought Key was, well,
Kate was hot and they
Yeah.
were jealous.
that, and the other one was, you know, Key's very petite.
Dave's got a question.
This is a tangent.
It is a tangent. Thank you, Dave. We're getting off on a tangent.
Yeah, well, to come back to the original point.
Basically, hate has gone hate. So
Yeah, haters are going to hate, but at least haters could at least try to make it constructive or
yeah,
bring
they
up good
won't,
points.
so ignore them.
Or have the guts to say it to your face as well.
Oh, well, that's never going to happen. But look, if you're performing, have thick skin, because people will be abusive, and just don't have a shit fit about it. Just, I mean, either don't reply, or if you are going to reply, just be like, well, sorry you didn't like the performance, hope you like the rest of the event, or whatever. It's just not worth rising to.
Or
You've
just
got to
don't
learn
reply.
to deal
Just
with
say,
it.
no, I can't anymore. Never mind.
So yeah, this was the part of the show where I like open up to questions. So if there's anybody, people, yes?
I have a question. What are your tips on the best ways to blackmail, arm twist, and generally cajole your friends into helping you with these projects?
Oh, good question. Yeah, how do you do that, Keith?
Is a good question. I'm not entirely sure why my friends helped me with this shit,
He
to be
answered
honest.
nicely and they just
Because I don't know, because for what we will be showing you on Sunday Night Live, I had the most massive group of people I've ever had to use.
Come in. Are you here for the skit panel?
If you're here for the extreme cosplay, that'll be kicking off in about 10 minutes
Come
or
back in
so.
10 minutes.
Okay,
Right,
thanks.
right, see you later.
They're going to be so disappointed when they find out it's me presenting that as well.
Keith,
I don't know, Yeah, no, that's fine. It's just question time now. Now, oh, that's fine. Now, I just have friends who are either good friends or are really open to abuse. Because I mean, especially with the one we've done recently, I had to get something like 14 people together from various parts of the country. It was an organisation.
Travelled 8 hours to be in the skit for 20 seconds.
I don't know why people do.
Why?
They just do. I mean, it's because we've done stuff before that seems to have gone down well, and people want to take part. So
It is fun, even though the editing is horrible. And but to be honest, people don't have to deal with it. He's the only one who has to deal with the editing. Which
editing is a fucking nightmare.
I have to deal with him being a shite, but that's about all of it. But yeah, the actual filming is quite fun because half the time, half of you are just like sat there eating sandwiches, going, "Oh, it's good."
Yeah, if you're getting people together all day, as I learned, remember to give them food, or they get really fucking pissy
He
with
forgot
you.
to make himself sandwiches. We all had little sandwiches with our names on, and he was like, "Oh, I forgot to make."
So do we have any other questions? Because we're going to have to wrap up soon, so if any questions, now is the best time for them.
Before my camera dies. Hello?
Yes, Tim.
Is there any other skits maker out there that you like look up to or like watch their videos and really enjoy?
To be honest, I love anybody who gets on the stage because it's a ballsy act, and I've got to admit, Tim, it's been a joy to watch you develop over
To
the
be
last
fair,
couple
when
of
we were
years.
at Noncon and we did this panel, how much did we mention Tim? And
Wow.
We did mention him.
all of us
I mean, so I'm going to go into this briefly because, well, quickly got time, because at the last Ayacon 2 years ago, Tim did some stand-up at the start of the convention. Sorry to go on about this, Tim. But I'll be honest, it didn't go down too well because most of his jokes related to Gundam. Again,
Only one.
well, yeah,
It's fine.
but yeah, it's nothing personal. It's just because it tied into a specific franchise, people didn't get it.
But he got up there.
But he got up there, he did it, and the final joke he went out on was quite a generic one, and he got a laugh. And he left the stage on a laugh. He left on the high point. And he didn't get bogged down by the people bitching afterwards. I mean, each subsequent act I've seen him do has just got better and better. I mean, his Minami skit this year was fucking hilarious. He did this great bit where he was interacting with his video on screen with this like chicken drumstick.
Freaking inspired.
Because he does this cosplay of the Colonel from KFC, and he did this bit where he was just doing this like beam of justice towards Jamie Oliver, which he just held it up to the screen and he got this beam going across, and I thought that was hilarious, and I'm probably going to steal that idea of something. Don't be afraid to steal other people's ideas, just remember to put an original spin on it, otherwise you're just a cunt.
The interacting with our video, with actually interacting with what was on the screen, we never thought of doing that. That's something that...
Well, we sort of did it at Ayacon.
Oh, really? I mean, we
With
were
the,
back and forth, but
it's
we never
hard to
actually
do.
interacted.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the screen's normally up here. That's why I did
That's
it.
true, so that you were lucky because it
Yeah, it was like the skit I was writing for Aya this year. I didn't have any interactive bits because I knew the screen would be
I
all
think
right
you've
there.
got to know your venue, you know.
Yeah, knowing your venue is
so Miani,
important.
I can get away with it. Kit, I from what I see, I can just about get away with it. Aya, Ami, no, I'm not going to get away with it.
Okay, so do we have any other questions? Molly.
Oh no.
How do you deal with stage confidence related issues?
Oh yeah, to touch on that. Right, yeah, because as anybody who's ever seen me backstage or before any kind of performance, I suffer from the worst kind of stage fright. So I generally have a couple of drinks before going on. Word of advice, don't get completely arse-faced before going on stage because it's difficult enough to remember lines without being drunk as well. A bit of Dutch courage is okay, but don't go on blitzed out of your brains because you might think you're funny, but you're not.
Take Dylan Moran as an example.
Yeah, Dylan Moran's a good example of taking that a bit too far sometimes.
You're not going to get your money's worth.
So yeah, whatever you do, going on stage is the most terrifying thing you can do. So just talk with other people in the green room. Just as soon as you get out there and you get I find myself, as soon as you get out there and you get the first line out, you find your flow, you're fine. But the build-up is always the worst because you're thinking
And everyone
everything's going
thinks
to
that
go
he's
horribly
fine.
wrong.
You know, everyone thinks that, oh, it's Keith, he won't have a problem. He's just scared. He'll be as scared.
Oh, I'm fucking terrified.
He'll be as frightened going on the stage at Ayacon as he was at his very first like proper skit that he did in Okinawa, like years ago. What year?
My first skit was, yeah.
And he was in a massive cardboard robot costume at that point, so at least you could hide. But you know, he was still as scared.
Well, Minami, when you did the YMCA dance, when you just went to God damn it, man, get the vodka.
Yeah, good times. I mean, another thing I'm going to mention briefly as well, I mean, again, ties back in, you're not going to like everybody who comes out on stage at one of these performance events, but have some appreciation for the amount of time and effort they have put in. Because, I mean, I first started doing skits because, you know, I'm a bit of an ego whore, despite my stage career. I like going on stage, and I thought doing skits was an easier method of doing that than having to spend a load of time on the cosplay. And year by year, the amount of time and effort that goes into these fucking skits gets more and more extreme. So even if you don't like it, at least appreciate the fact that these people have gone out to try and entertain you. They put in a lot of effort and thought. whether it works or not, at least they have tried. They're just doing it to try and entertain you, so bear that in mind. So
Be nice to us.
if you don't like it, fine, just don't be a cock about it. I mean, amongst yourselves, fine, say whatever you like, but in public forums, at least acknowledge the fact these people have tried to entertain you.
If I can't be a cock about it, what am I supposed to do on the internet?
Masturbate furiously over pornography like everyone
Like
else. My eyes!
Scales have fallen from my eyes.
And my zipper too.
Right, we've only got about a minute left, so any other questions at all?
Wait, it's not like this will be the last chance you'll ever have to ask Keith a question. I mean,
Oh no,
I'm
I'm slated to die in about 5 days, so my imaginary death watch.
Oh, right, yeah.
Is it not like leaping again?
No, that's pretty much it. Well, I hope you all, well, I hope this was entertaining enough for you, for those of you who sat through the whole thing. Thank you very much. Okay, the extreme cosplay should be kicking off in a few minutes. So if anybody...
What's good?
Okay, I'm going to show the non-stop.
Today's Skits!
I'll turn on the camera now.
Yes, I'm here,